just promote players and coaches here. There are people that work around the arena that deserve some promotion too. And one of the outstanding anthem singers I've had the pleasure of dealing with in my time in hockey is the NTDP anthem singer here, Carly Binns. And usually see her when we start the broadcast. We thought we'd bring her up here for a few moments and talk with Carly. And first of all, Carly, I'm going to give you a compliment.
Okay.
I've been doing this for 30 years. Mm-hmm. I've heard tons of anthems, tons of bad anthems.
Oh,
but
no.
I have to say, you and along with your predecessor, Michelle Whitlow, are two of the best that I have ever heard.
Thank you.
And for me, what happens when you take over the broadcast, it gives me about 90 seconds, maybe 100 seconds to take a deep breath, relax, kind of reflect, and really try to do a good job. So I want to thank you for that.
It means a lot.
I think you do a terrific job. And just to get started, how did you get started singing?
I started singing when I was about 5 or 6, and actually my sister does music too. She's a musical theater major in college. So I like to think that I saw her and I wanted to follow in her footsteps. But the funny thing is, when I started singing, my parents said I couldn't sing a note. I was just screeching and it was terrible. So I'm glad I got a little better.
So what's your sister's name and what does she do now? She's still in college?
Her name is Hallie, and she's a junior at Columbia College Chicago. She is a BFA in musical theater.
So you're just following your sister around. That's a good little family story. So when did you figure out that you had the passion for singing and maybe you could make a go at it?
I think I figured that out when I was about 12 years old in 7th grade, because that's when I started writing songs. And after I started writing, I wanted to get out there and perform them for people and get my voice heard. And after I started that, it just grew and grew and grew. So definitely middle school was when I discovered my passion.
And how did you discover USA Hockey Arena, or before that, CompuArena Arena and the Plymouth Whalers? How did you get hooked up with us?
I had a friend who actually knew my boss, Denise, and they needed an anthem singer for one night. Their anthem singer couldn't do it. So he was like, hey, do you want to do it? And I was like, oh, yeah. So I got in that rotation with the Whalers, and then I called one day and said, hey, I know USA is coming in. Do you guys need a singer? And Denise said, that's so funny. We were just talking about you hours ago. Yes, you got the job. So that's how I got it.
Now, I've heard you sing the anthem now for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
You've kind of changed it a little bit, a little bit here and there. Does that happen? Maybe you get bored with the rendition you're doing. You want to switch it up a little bit and make it a little bit fresh for you. Does it change with your voice, or how does that all work?
It changes with my voice because, as I've gotten older, my voice has matured and I've had to change technique and, like you said, the way I sing it a little bit. I've never gotten bored with the way I sing it. I try to keep it true to how it's written, but definitely because I'm getting older, I've had to change it a little.
Now, as you're getting older, and I know you work with a choir in high school and some of your friends there, but you're also starting to play commercial gigs around. I've seen your work last summer. You're starting to sing maybe professionally or semi-professionally.
Yeah.
How's that all working for you?
It's been great. I mean, it's on the back burner a little bit with the school year starting again, but I had an amazing summer. I played some amazing gigs like Laurel Live in Cleveland and Electric Forest and Rothbury, and it's been really, really great. I'm very grateful for all the experiences I've had.
Now, you also have a CD out right here. It's called 3 a.m., and I was kidding you one night after you sung the national anthem. I hope you weren't staying up till 3 a.m. to produce this. Although my son's a musician, he's been known to stay up till like 4 in the morning and then get a few hours of sleep before he goes to his day job. But how did this all come about, your little CD here, 3 a.m.? This
came about because I won the Michigan State Fair Superstar Contest last summer, and part of my prize package was getting to record this EP and release it to the world. So it's because I won the contest.
You won the contest, which I'm not surprised about. You also have a website, right?
CarlyBinns.com. You can check it for all my latest information, gigs, pictures, everything you need to know about me.
What about social media? Do you want to put that out there? I think people can find you.
Oh, yeah. Carly Binns on pretty much everything. Just search my name and you'll find me.
Okay, now the writing process.
Yes.
Now, my musical wheelhouse is like classic jazz and that kind of thing. I'm not in your wheelhouse at all.
Okay.
And my son's 27. He's got his own little genres that he follows. In your writing process, do you pattern yourself after anybody in particular, or are you open to all genres of music?
I'm open to all genres. I used to say I was mostly influenced by pop and singer-songwriters, but my grandparents and even my parents say that I have a little bit of folk and country in my songs. So I'm just open to whatever inspires me and whoever I think is good.
What's upcoming for Carly Binns besides working here?
Well, I have a lot of Christmas gigs with some of my school choirs. I have a gig in early December at a new venue in Lake Orion called 20 Front Street, I'm pretty sure. And I'm opening for Jill Jack at Trinity House Theater in Livonia on February 25th. That's all I got right now.
Any more thoughts about this? Any more EPs or commercial offerings for people?
Not right now, but we'll see. We'll see.
Are you working on anything in particular in terms of songwriting? Are you changing it up a little bit, or are you just staying with what was right here at 3 a.m.?
I'm trying to change up my lyric writing a little bit and trying to get more metaphors in there, not being straightforward. I actually wrote a song just last night, and I was able to get some metaphors in there, so I'm very proud about that. But I'm always working on honing in on my craft and making it a little different each time.
Carly, one last thing. We'll let you go. Maybe two things.
Okay.
There are probably a lot of people out there saying, wow, you know, I'd like to get into songwriting. I'd like to be a performer, too. What would be your advice to, it doesn't even have to be a person your age, maybe an older person that's working and maybe does a little karaoke, or, you know what I'm saying? What would be your advice to anybody out there that wants to get into performing?
My advice is just to go for it, practice a lot, and if you want to get into songwriting, just start writing. My first couple songs were absolute garbage, and you're never going to hear those ever. So just always keep practicing, even if it's not your best, because you will get better and you will improve.
Last thing, and this is important, what about your parents? How have they helped you?
They have been so supportive along the way, whether it's traveling with me to gigs a couple hours away or just paying for stuff. They've been so supportive, and I'm so grateful for my parents, and we'll see what else comes up that they can support me with.
Beautiful. Carly, we'll let you go. Keep up the great work. I love listening to you do the anthem. And just keep it up, because you really make the game day experience really special for me and special for everybody else.
Thank you. I will.